Um, Tucker Carlson did an interview recently with, I wanted to say Mike Benz off the top of my head. Forgive me if I get the name wrong, but there was an intelligence, uh, really knowledgeable guy on intelligence. And he was talking about how the social media companies, the bigger ones, basically at the behest of the federal government, have been using AI to crack down on your mis and disinformation
Mhm.
in the name of safety and whatever. What type of AI has been used to go and censor things on the internet, and what can people, what if anything, can we do to kind of mitigate that? Because if basically where are we in the arms race between artificial intelligence in terms of censorship and encryption?
There's nothing you can do. There. Okay, so practically speaking, there is nothing you can do. In being impractical, you don't have a phone, you don't have internet, you don't drive, you farm, you raise livestock, you hunt and you fish.
Hmm.
You live off grid as much as possible. That is how you avoid AI. There is no way. If you go to a store, if you go to a gas station, chances are your face is being logged somewhere.
Mhm.
And I don't just mean in that store's security. I mean somebody somewhere is putting your face into a database. And again, it's going to be, it's likely, or it is highly possible, I should say, that it could be used to help train facial recognition.
Mhm.
So avoiding AI, what can you do? Or avoiding being profiled. I think that's probably the best way. Do things like use a really good VPN, CyberGhost, for example. Forget about Nord, forget about Surfshark. They're the same company.
Mhm.
You use a company like CyberGhost that has a no logs policy. You use browsers like Brave, Epic, Tor. You don't use credit cards because your credit card habits are fed into an AI. That's how they send you offers. Um, and if you are very regimented with your credit card usage, what they'll do is they just start firing things at you, saying maybe this person's going to click, and then we'll have some data, and then we can start marketing to them more effectively. Um, be honest with you, it's really, really hard to
Yeah,
like really hard in the modern world.
I talk about Google as being basically this giant behemoth that this giant well the force for good or force for bad, I don't really know. It's a really big ship. But I want to read something I saw on Twitter here. um Oren McIntyre
Okay.
says people are freaking out about Google's Great Replacement History Edition. I'm sure you've seen the Google Gemini images where it's impossible to get a white person drawn up, and they have you
Yeah,
know the Pope is from
an
yeah,
Indian woman.
yeah, yeah, exactly, of a different complexion. Google has worked hard to make the Chromebook ubiquitous in public education. This is true. They own the architecture by which your children validate truth. The browser, the search engine, Google Classroom, Docs, Slides, everything is integrated, and this algorithmic ecosystem is the only way students ever learn to gather information or judge its validity. The idea of going to a library and manually investigating primary sources that aren't constantly monitored. And so, yeah, who goes to a library now? You just go on the internet. Um, it says here a big statement: Google will, and I argue already has, shift perceptions of history in the blink of an eye. You can say, oh, well, my kids will be homeschooled. Mine are homeschooled. But good point that their vote will be drowned out by the millions of new voters that the Democrats, of course, this is a U.S. perspective, but we can kind of relate to this in Canada. By the way, you're in Toronto, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, we're a Canadian perspective, but we're drowned out by the millions of new voters that they're being imported every year who only speak English through Google Translate. And then
So
this is something that really struck me today, or when I read this. Once men turned their thinking over to machines in the hope that this would set them free, but that only permitted other men with machines to enslave them. So that's, I guess, from Frank Herbert.
yeah.
So
So what you're seeing here
yeah,
is the real danger in artificial intelligence. TJ, are you still there?
yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, this is the real danger in artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is still trained by people. And if you have people who, let me back up here. You want to train an artificial intelligence with logic, facts, reason, and critical thinking. If I do that, then my AI is going to generate logical, factual, uh, critically, critically congruent results. If I train my AI based on an ideology, my
Hmm.
opinion, so my opinion may say minus 10 degrees Celsius isn't really that cold. It's bikini weather. Now, what percentage of people are going to say, yeah, he's right? But if I teach my AI to believe that something that is completely subjective, because pretty much nobody on the planet can live in minus 10-degree temperatures without some kind of clothing to keep them warm, retain body heat, minimize sweating, all these other wonderful things that happen. This is the biggest danger. We get these engineers who are ideologically programming this AI to believe that um, Northern Europe was ethnically diverse in this example. It
Hmm.
wasn't. I don't understand. There's historical fact, and then there's the history that some people would like to see. Now, when you get that person as a AI engineer who believes more in the history they would like to see, you now have an AI that is starting off with a basis that is not factually correct. That is the biggest danger in artificial intelligence. We need to have objective truth reign supreme in this area. Otherwise, it is going to completely disembowel society.